Here's the roach calling for people. I saw this while I was pissing. I guess he said, what is this? You called for murdering immigrants last week. If you think these are, so Asmongold says, if you think these are jokes, you're in for a very bad time over the next 10 to 15 years. Responding to an article that's titled, I Love Hitler. Which is like, oh man, yeah, based. Yeah, based, dude. To which Gremlo responded with, you called for murdering immigrants last week. I didn't even know that that was the case. To which he says, post the clip. To which he does post the clip. Somebody comes into this country, they're not even a citizen, kill them. Actually, maybe we shouldn't kill them, force them into labor.
And yeah, any of the ones that are rapists, kill them. That's what I think. If they get convicted of rape, kill them. Yes.
To which he's going to respond and say, well, they're rapists. Like he's saying, kill the rapists. Like kill the rapists that came into the country.
Deport them all. And yeah, any of the ones that are rapists, kill them. That's what I think. If they get convicted of rape, kill them. Exactly. I think we should do the same thing here. Somebody comes into this country, they're not even a citizen, kill them. Public hanging? Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Well, actually, maybe we shouldn't kill. Maybe we should force them into
labor.
Yeah.
Then he says, calling for police to murder civilians.
No, I think anybody who's going around and trying to hit police officers or anything like that, that's just...
I think it's pretty wild for him to say that. I mean, it's a wild position for him in particular to say that, considering, you know, the org that he was a part of and how many people had to leave the organization. But I guess they're American citizens, so it's appropriate.
There's no reason why anybody should be supporting that. I think, like, yeah, that
like Guy's biggest dick rider and only remaining bestie is Rape Tone, who is seemingly a generational rapist. Like not even has he been credibly accused by former partners, but also his dad apparently was such a prolific sexual assaulter that his sexual assaults were codified in the American Congress, in the American congressional records. Like, it's just crazy. And that's, I mean, what should be done in that situation? I am not an advocate for capital punishment. It's just wild to me that, like, he has this kind of attitude here for some reason, but he doesn't have the same energy for people that he knows.
And trying to hit police officers or anything like that, that's just, there's no reason why anybody should be supporting that. I think, yeah, that base. No, I think, again, I've said this before. I think they should use actual ammo. And if anybody throws a rock or tries to harm one of the police officers, I think they should just use deadly force to stop.
Not to be that guy, but it's hilarious that the party of law is the one calling for rapists to be executed, which is literally illegal and unconstitutional. It has been litigated all the way up to SCOTUS.
From happening. There's no reason why anybody should be putting up with that. And it's disgusting, honestly, that there's so many people that are okay with it. Yeah, shoot on sight. Absolutely.
Cops should be able to kill people with live ammunition if the protesters throw things at them is a crazy take.
Yeah, of course. Set an example. Yeah.
And keep committing crimes.
That'll only increase the riots.
I mean, people in his chat are not wrong. Yes, if a cop shoots someone for throwing something at them with live ammunition, of course people would be like, what the f are you doing?
You'd really be surprised how fast it stops after more than one or two people get shot for being violent.
At the time when we were co-hosts on the podcast, he had literally said, why are people doing this smear? They're crazy. And now he realizes why people do that smear, because he himself is perhaps motivated by the same intentions.
It would stop immediately.
Yeah, he's wrong about this, by the way. It doesn't stop. You can preload your statements with if they're rapists or if they're harming police all you like, but you're just stupid. You're just too stupid to stop yourself from following up with a direct, unqualified encouragement of violence and from the state, no less. Bitch-made peasant behavior. Yeah, I mean, he has a plausible deniability here. He'll just say, oh, I just meant for rapists. You know, that's what he'll say in both of these circumstances. He'll be like, oh, well, I just think that this is the difference between someone who defends people against state violence and someone who demands more state violence. If you demand more state violence, you will never come across as violating the terms of service. Okay? That's the difference between people, for example, saying that they wish Hamas was more successful versus they wish Israel was more successful, because Israel is engaging in state violence, and therefore it's totally appropriate for people to say, oh, I want more death and destruction that Israel is contributing to. Whereas if you were to say the opposite, if you were to say the inverse, if you were to say, oh, I want more militant action from Hamas, you would get banned. As evidenced by, you can't say America deserved 9/11, but you can say Iran deserves multiple 9/11s, and no one will bat an eye. This is how it works. This is also exactly how right-wingers can get away with demanding and engaging in violent rhetoric with regular frequency while simultaneously claiming it's the left that's actually violent. This double standard is built into the argument. Elon and Asmon refuse to condemn the texts. Partisan politics disguises emotional blackmail. Where are the tweets condemning J. Jones for saying something similar, if not worse things? They don't exist because you don't actually care. Never let people hold you to the standards they don't hold themselves to. It's really interesting because, like, a lot of Democrats actually do bite this bait and do actually condemn it, not realizing that, like, they're doing this because it's partisan. They're unironically projecting here. The difference is they don't care about these statements. Jay Jones apologized for his emotional outburst in a text message, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because the reality of the matter is, I don't think that's a sincere political project from a political operative such as Jay Jones. I don't think he's like going to become attorney general specifically so he can put the death penalty on Republicans who refuse to do anything about gun control, right? Like, that's not sincere. Whereas I do think that it is in line with a lot of young Republican operatives to unironically bring about Hitlerian policy, especially considering that Hitlerian policy is already being implemented right now. So it's not that far-fetched. The only difference between the communications, the private correspondences in this Telegram group, was that they were unshackled, okay, unrestrained by civility, by optics. And they were just saying the quiet part out loud. But the quiet part still reflects the broader Republican policy in this regard. Whereas Jay Jones's statement saying Jennifer Gilbert's children should die is not actually a part of his platform. Nowhere close to it, you know? But in any case, I think that I don't necessarily think that either party cares about this. I think actually liberals care about it a lot more than Republicans do. Because if you remember, like, a lot of Republicans were like, oh, these guys should be fired. These guys should be fired. That's what you were telling me. And then J.D. Vance came out and straight up was like, F you. He did the no you, right? That's what he hit. He hit the no you, and everybody loved it. And that's where we're at. Because the reality of the matter is, this stuff only works if you care about the civility. This stuff only works if you care about the optics of the situation. And the Republicans clearly do not care about the optics of the situation. So that's what's going on here. It's kind of like Pete Hegseth, right? In the past, Pete Hegseth was in the past, someone like Pete Hegseth with his background would never actually achieve higher office or any sort of like serious placement in any administration. One, because he doesn't have the experience, but two, because he is a blackmailable figure, right? Blackmail is one of the most consequential aspects of security clearances. They will not give you higher security clearances because you could, if you have weaknesses, if you have gambling debt, if you're an alcoholic, if you're a rapist, like, these are issues of consequence because you could be blackmailed. But blackmail only works if you are embarrassed in a weird way. You're unblackmailable if you just are unashamed. And Pete Hegseth certainly is unashamed. He is impossible to shame. The Republicans broadly nowadays have this superpower where you can't really shame them. You can't really shame them into submission. It just doesn't work. So I think people need to find something different. They always would just go turn around and be like, nah, dude, it's just, it's just cancel culture. It's just cancel culture. So yeah, on the Republican side especially, I think this has become like a shield almost, because you can have this broad group of formerly canceled people come under the Republican umbrella because they'll always accept you as long as you say the right things. As long as you say they're Republican, as long as you say that you love Trump, as long as you say, like, fuck trans people, all this shit, they will always welcome you, no matter how heinous your crimes are, right? Zach is always copying your language, always using the words in the wrong places, but it won't matter until someone like a big streamer said, take 1 minute to go and undermine the streamer right now, and 10x more people would nip it in the bud than the few starting it. Every smear has a potential to slow down or stagger progression. What do you mean? Yeah, no big streamer is ever going to come out and be like, Asmongold is ridiculous for saying these sorts of things. I'm going to tell you exactly why they won't. I think you already know. Because every big streamer who actually opposes his worldview are utterly terrified of his audience. Okay? That's it. They're 100% terrified of his audience because his fan base does not have any, they don't have any restraint. They've realized that they can just like go after anyone and everyone and name them, shame them, smear them, take clips out of context, constantly yell in their chats, go to every other chat and demand that the other streamers talk about this new victim in the crosshairs, so that is the reason why no one will actually come out and oppose any of his viewpoints, even if they quietly oppose it. And it's not just Asmongold, to be fair. It's not just Asmongold at all. There are plenty of other, like, there's a bunch of kick streamers that do the same shit too. It just doesn't really matter. And I mean, look, I'm one of the very few people out there who does actually oppose a lot of streamers when they do. And look how much I eat it on a daily fucking basis.